Good morning, everyone. This is Meg at Chasing Retro, here today as promised with the flip throughs of the 4 green and yellow journals that I have just completed, 2 yellows and 2 greens. I will name them Patchwork Green and Fabric Green and Patchwork Yellow and Fabric Yellow. That's probably the easiest way to do it. So you'll see in just a minute what I mean by patchwork and fabric. Let's start with the yellow, since it is morning, and yellow is such a beautiful, happy morning color. I'm going to raise this up just a little. First, I will show you the measurements of this patchwork yellow. That's what this one will be called. 8 3/4, a little bit over that, by 6. And it has a 2 1/4 inch spine. This one has 3 signatures. It has a fiber, yarn, and ribbon and lace and fabric tassel. It can be removed. You would just have to bend the ring to get it off, but I attached it with one of these Tim Holtz attachers. Unlike what I normally do with a alligator clip and an eyelet, I decided to do this time, and so that is the tassel. This one has a built-in tie that has been sewn in, and all of the specifics about page numbers and all of that will be listed below. I want to say that each signature has about 12 to 13 pages. Okay, first we have a library pocket with a little bit of a collage. It says "The Sunshine in My Heart." And then this is made from a children's book cover. It's just a simple little journaling card. There is a lot of sewing in these journals. The one thing I did decide not to do is to add any beads off of the strings trailing down. You may add them yourself if you'd like to, or you can just tie them in a bow or cut them off. But I decided that I had already invested enough time and money into these journals, and so green and yellow beads actually is probably the least number of beads that I have in my collection. So I made a commitment to myself not to buy any beads. So I did use some beads on some dangles, and you'll see that in a moment. So these are just some digitals here. And then this is a book page that I received in Happy Mail. I want to say I received this from Cindy, if I'm correct. This is from a children's poetry book. It's super adorable. You have 3 little kittens on this side. I think I got this envelope from Jan. And inside we have a dandelion embossed journaling card. And I believe I received this from Mary. Mary sent me so many wonderful green and yellow goodies. And Mary, let me say right now, I want to apologize. After I went through and sorted it off when I started making these, I think I found that you had put some items in little paper bags, and I don't think that I opened those bags on the video. So I am so sorry. I am very grateful for everything that you sent. Somehow I just overlooked doing that. But this is just a little game card. So I could not have made this journal without Mary and Jan's generosity on what they sent me. This is a watercolor. You probably know by now that my daughter helps me out with embellishments for journals, and this is a little watercolor pineapple that she did. This is wallpaper here. And then here is a vintage piece of quilt square with some lace sewn down. And then we have a journaling card from a children's dictionary, and this is from a handyman book. This is from The Wizard of Oz. This is a die-cut image out of a magazine of a bird, and we have a little fabric tab here. I think that's an oriole. I could be wrong. I love yellow birds. This is a sales receipt. This is just a book page that's pretty thick. I think it might be a flypaper end page. This is from a recipe book, of course. music scale paper, another book page. This is some beautiful, I think I got this from Mary, some beautiful vintage gift wrap for a shower. And then in here, I just have a little notepad page that's been torn out. And then this cute little tag with some watercolor mushrooms. And then this is a Hermelinda tag that flips up for journaling space, and it has a butterfly. This is a paper doll dress from PastPaperPretties. And then up here sewn on, I have some material that I've made into a ruffle. And a beautiful picture of buttercups. I put a little cutout here from a children's book. Here's some more of that beautiful batik made into a ruffle. This is a tuck spot from a children's science book. And we have a little paint chip. Sorry about the focus. I don't know what's wrong today. It's having trouble, isn't it? Well, it's a paint chip, and I backed it with some ruler paper, and then here's just a vintage index card. Here's a stamp from Nigeria. Punch the edge of this page. In here we have a side pocket with some beautiful Black Eyed Susans, I think those are. And then a little science book card. I'm sorry it's not focusing today. It might be the busy fabric behind it. And then this is from a vintage magazine from the 60s. I put a butterfly on this side of the envelope. And then we have a journaling card in here from a vintage children's health book. And this is some brayered and stenciled paper on the back. We got a little kitty with a bib on. Here's a little fabric cluster. This is a dictionary page that I've just painted some polka dots onto. A vintage greeting card from Mary. Thank you, Mary. Here's another science book image. And here we have a card showing how they make butter and milk. And then this is from Popular Mechanics. If you like yellow, and I don't think there's a ton of people who do, you will love this journal. And I have found, just talking to people who have looked at my progress, even people who don't like yellow, they say that just looking at these makes them happy. So yellow definitely is a happy color. This is from an art book right here. This is a piece of vintage lace that I believe I also got from Mary. And then here is a little bead dangle with a little yellow heart made of glass. This is Kool-Aid dyed paper. This is one of the forms that Jan sent me, a Salesman Daily Floor Activity Chart. And then here we have a flip with a pocket. And this is from a vintage sewing book, of course. And a beautiful page from a book by Ruth. I cannot remember her full name. She has this beautiful book with scripture, and then she did watercolors. This is some computer paper that I think I also received from Jan. I glued this little kitty cat here. This is a card with bees and a ruffle at the top. And this is just one of those gardening book pages that's been torn out. Another recipe page. Campus Ministry notepad. A little parrot, I guess he is. And then tucked in here, I just tied a little bow through these holes. This is from a vintage Better Homes and Gardens decorating book. a tuck spot made from an ad from Popular Mechanics, and then tucked in here is an adorable bag, also from Jan from Daiso, with Winnie the Pooh. I thought this needed to be a center spread image. It is so pretty. It's from a window treatment book. Here's a children's book image, and then here I have just sewn together a little flip pad of various yellow colored paper scraps. Here's another tab. This is a little bag. I'll put an image on there as well. And then in here we have a little blank flashcard and one of these little magazine subscription cards. I sewed some vintage lace onto here, and here's another dangle. Here's a pencil that I glued down, a playing card, some Monopoly money, a paint chip strip, and just a little beautiful tag with daisies. Here's an upside down pocket. My daughter painted this Black-Eyed Susan, and then one of my flashcards in here, and then an image from the Handyman book again. I have a new sewing machine. I got it for my birthday for my husband and kids, and I experimented in these with some of the new stitches that I've never used before. So you'll probably notice that. Here's a honeybee image. Yellow. I love this yellow filler paper. This is some ribbon that I think I got from Mary. Isn't that so pretty? Here's the brayered and stenciled paper again. This is an envelope that I've just clipped in here that I've just glued down an image of Harry. You guys remember the book about Harry the dirty dog, and I think this one's called Harry's Christmas Present. So cute. This is a book page from Work Basket magazine. This is from Madeline. Another vintage sewing book. This is a booklet about how to make bathing suits. Here's an Einstein Brothers bagel bag. And then one of these car key tags from Jan, and a flashcard. Here's a fabric pocket from a vintage sheet. Here's some of my Franken paper tags, and this adorable little flashcard. It's not little, it's a big flashcard. This is a paint chip sample page. Here's a tuck spot and an image from a children's book, and we have this beautiful yellow doily. You can place it wherever you'd like. And another image from Madeline. And in the center here, we have, I need to add something else to this, but we have a beautiful health book image of a mom cooking, or she might have been a lunch lady, I don't remember. And then here is a buttercup that I preserved last year from my yard with my flower press, and then laminated it, and I just glued this on there that says wishing. And this is just a tag with some yarn, and I'll add another little something to this pocket. Here we have clipped in an adorable children's playing card and just a strip of fabric. I love this fabric. It's vintage. I kind of hoard it, but I decided to tuck it in here in case you wanted to use it to make something for this journal. And attached to this paper clip is some yellow eyelash fiber. Here's an image from a children's book again, a mother hen feeding her chicks. And another image, I think this is from Angela, a little reader image. Fun yarn. And then this is a, I don't remember what these were, but I think I got this from Mary as well. And then in here we have a little price sticker, a coupon, and an Uno card. Another fabric tab. Isn't this fun batik? I love it. Here's a side pocket. So when my daughter paints, she does swatches on the side. I know many people who are artists or who use watercolor do that. So for this one, I just saved what she had swatched and turned it into a little side pocket. Here's one of those Daily Bread Bible verse cards and a little daily devotional calendar piece and another playing card. This is from a children's poetry book. This is a end paper from another book. I love the texture of this paper. It's very linen-like. Here's a double pocket with a watercolor mushroom. We have some tobacco coupons, and then we have a little children's dress on this tag. Another little notepad. These are all cut the same size. And then another one of the Franken tags with some yellow dyed lace. Okay, that is the yellow patchwork journal. Here is the yellow fabric journal. This one is shorter, but it is thicker. There are 4 signatures in this one. It is tied with a piece of sari silk. I say sari silk. It is just one of the pieces from one of the chindi rugs that I disassembled. And it is fully removable, unlike the other one. The tassel is exactly the same, just a combo of yarn and eyelash trim and fabric strips and ribbon. And I think there's some sari silk in here as well. And then you can see the 4 signatures. This one measures 5 wide by about 7.5 tall and 2.5 spine. And then I've sewn some zigzag trim here. Library pocket with a little collage and a little paper flower. And then this is a stamped and embossed image of a topiary. You can see the shine, pretty, pretty. Another little game card, a children's playing card, a little Franken tag, not tag, journaling card. And this is from a Wilton's wedding cake book. So I'll turn that into a journaling card. Bathing suit instruction book. This is an end paper. I love the little fibers that you can see in it. Here's an upside down Franken pocket with a little notepad. And Good Morning Sunshine. Here's a ruffle with some of the daisy and bee fabric. Glitter fish here. Little pocket with this is from a German book about apples. And then this is just a little journaling card. Dictionary page with painted polka dots. Here I have paper clipped a doily and a little notepad sheet. Thank you card with an adorable bunny and lamb. In the center of this one, I have a butterfly that was sent to me by Mary, I believe, and I backed it with some beautiful yellow paper and sewed around it. So I thought this was a gorgeous center of this book. Again, like I said with the other one, I left the strings hanging so you may tie them or add beads or whatever you'd like. The tuck spot with Snoopy, and it's just a little menu from a vintage cookbook. I sewed some not antique, this is probably just vintage lace on here, and then we have a tiny little bead dangle. I did a little collage here. It says Still Climbing Heavenward with a little glittery cloud and a biplane. And then this is such a cute image from, oh my goodness. The word escapes me. But a decorator that was big in the 80s. I love her stuff. But I used a decorative stitch around it. And then this is a book of glassware, like a glassware collector's book. and I just cut out some that had yellow on it. Here's a beautiful batik pocket. This is from a dictionary, and this is actually cut out of a calendar. And this is a handyman book divider. Tuck spot with a health book image, and this little children's fairy tale book image right here. Clipped in here, we just have a little envelope with another image of children that was yellow. All shades of yellow and all shades of green are represented in these guys. I'm gonna make this a little bit closer. This is brayered and stenciled paper. This is an envelope that I found at a thrift shop a while back, and I sort of altered it so that it could be folded and opened on both sides. And inside here we have Miss Clavel with, is it Clavel? With Madeline and her friends. This is an adorable wrapping paper that I think I got from Mary. Isn't that so, so, so cute? A children's book page. I think this is from Cindy. I've been holding on to this for a while. This is a bag that I just clipped in here from Jan. It's Winnie the Pooh. This is some beautiful golden ribbon that I made into a ruffle. This is one of my daughter's watercolor images, and I sewed it to the edge of the pocket. And then we have a little tag and a flashcard. This is from a typography book. Here we have a tobacco card and a little pressed flower that I got from my yard last summer, and I put Be Happy on here. This is from The Wizard of Oz. I just did a little simple collage on this pocket, and then we have Franken paper tag, another little journaling card. We have one of those magazine cards here, an embossed journaling card, If I Make a Wish Today, and then another image of my daughter's watercolor with a little mushroom. So much yellow, so much happy. There's a Bible verse and a ticket. This paper is super unique. Jan sent that to me. I love it. The typography book again. Here's a fabric tab, wallpaper. The other side of that little envelope with a little image of a picnic. If you saw my Thrifty Thursday this week, that looks a lot like the basket that I was able to find. Tiny little metal picnic basket. Side pocket with an image from a decorating book about lighting, and a little yellow color bunch playing card. Madeline page, fabric cluster, an envelope with a punch out from a little golden book, and then we have a memory card. Do you guys remember playing memory? One of my favorites. And a little I think it was like a reading flashcard. Campus ministry notepad sheet. Here's a flip up here. This came on a record, a vintage record that my husband bought in Florida last year, and I was like, I gotta save that. This is from a dictionary and another Franken tag with a really fun yarn topper. Recipe book page. This is a removable fiber paper clip, and then just a fun little scrappy notepad, flip pad. Beautiful, cute little fabric tab there. I thought this was funny. That moment when you hear someone else call your best friend their best friend, and you're like, no. And then a vintage index card. And I think I got these at the Scrap Shack. I think that's what it's called, in North Carolina a few years ago. They sit up 3D, but they're just little note cards and Matryoshka dolls. I thought they were adorable, so I put one in this journal and one in the green journal. And here's a flower card. I'll put a little egret. I guess that's what he is. Here's a stamp from Helvetia. I don't know, maybe that's Greece. And then some vintage trim here, and a little bead dangle with an assortment of yellows. This is a window treatment book with one of the vellum stickers in front of it. This was kind of inspired by Lace Covered Skies. She's kind of translucent, so it's kind of interesting. And then this is an image from a 80s magazine, a little perfume bottle, and Monopoly money. This is a fabric pocket with some cute chick trim. This is one of the tags that I created, or my husband created, excuse me. But he's gonna put it in my shop soon, just little cell tags. And this is a paint chip, like snippet with different yellows. And this is one of the sassy, I call them sassy Rolodex ladies. If you make it yourself, it's whatever size you say it is. And here we have a price tag, a playing card, and a blank flashcard. This is a paper doll dress from PastPaperPretties. This is something that I cut out on my Scan and Cut. Little decoupage image there. Here's a paint chip with some of my daughter's watercolors. And this is from a children's reader, and I've sewn a ruffle onto that. Vintage wrapping paper from Mary. There's a little sack, and there's a picture of a spider. Sorry guys, but it was yellow. And then here's a little page from a preschool workbook. For the center, I chose to put this gorgeous picture of this arbor, and then I backed it with some yellow paper. And here we have a really old piece of ephemera, 1957, key deposit, and this is a key tag from Jan. A tuck spot here with a Hermelinda tag, another one of my daughter's watercolors. This is a book, another image from that glassware book that I just tacked down. This, I'm not going to pull this out. It's very old, 1937. It's from an autograph book, and it looks like some little girls were passing them around in class. And it was yellow, so I let go of it to put in this journal. Uh-oh, I have several pages to clip together. That's the end of the yellow fabric. That's what I will call this one. I probably should have come up with more creative names, but this is the fabric yellow. Okay, here is the fabric green. This one is the same as the fabric yellow. It is 5 by about 7.5, 2.5 inch spine, 4 signatures. It is also tied with a piece of chindi rug silk, and then the tassel is a combo of fibers, yarns, ribbons, rick-rack, strips of fabric, and all shades of green. And then I have a piece of rick-rack here. Oh, I forgot to mention, both of these fabric covers, the yellow and the green, are plush. So there is a layer underneath of batting. The Patchwork covers do not have batting. Here's a little decoupage pocket with a peacock tag. Again, all of the page numbers and all of that will be in the description box below, as well as on the Etsy listing. I cut her out of a health book and just glued her down here. She was wearing a beautiful green dress. This is from an Ideals book. Canasta score sheet. A little picture of Texas there. Here's some batik that I turned into a tab. Here is a vintage children's playing card and a green doily for you to use how you'd like. Wallpaper with a ruffle. One of my daughter's watercolors. This is a piece of gift wrap. I've put some of the little fashion ladies on the back. Scrapbook paper. Here's a fun little, it's gotten rotated. A fun little bead dangle here with some silver and green, and then some beautiful sage green crocheted lace. This is from an 80s architectural magazine. I thought it was unique, so I turned it into a tuck spot. Here's another image on a green card and some play money. In the center, I have this beautiful butterfly sent to me by Mary that I lined with green paper and sewed around. And just like the yellows, I left the strings, well, I tied this one, but I left the rest of them dangling, and you may do with them as you wish. They're long enough that you can add beads if you'd like to. Here are some tickets and a game card and a stamp from Denmark. I just put this image of ginkgo on the back of this paper. Here's some vintage trim that I've put some green through and glued it down. Another vintage image from a children's Bible story book. This is from an art book. And then we have a playing card and a very sturdy tag and some fun embossed ribbon here. We have a clipped-in envelope. There's Jiminy Cricket. A clipped-in envelope with this cute panda. Fabric pocket with some trim sewn on. And this is some preserved flowers. And it says Good Fortune. Is that coming in okay? And then a layaway tag with some silk tied at the top. Here's some gift wrap that I received from Mary. Perfect for this journal. Glued a fish there. This is some sort of a project page and a map of Scotland. This is some beautiful vintage green lace and then a little dangle here. A tuck spot from a health book. This is from a cover of a children's book. And then a little Habitat for Humanity notepad. Computer paper from Jan, I believe. This is from a Scouts book from Ideals magazine. And this is a Pantone card, super cool, from Mary also, I believe. A vintage greeting card, isn't that so sweet? Here we have an image of a cigar ad, very old reproduction, and then some flip-flop scrapbook paper that's super fun, and a Texas playing card. And this is from a Make and Do book, and I just glued it down to some cardstock. Here's some key tags from Jan, and a cute little polka dot tag. Here I just clipped on a paper clip that I have threaded some green seed beads onto on this ruffle. This card was actually signed by Mom and Dad. Here's a Franken paper tag, a Japanese playing card, and a little little journaling card with a frog. Here we have a flip with a pocket. This is from, of course, Memory Game. And this cute little children's reader image. I put it on some dark green. So on this, you could use a white or a gold or a silver pen. Put a little inchworm here. This is some vintage ticking that I put as a tab. Here I clipped in just a little die cut of a daisy and a paint chip piece that you can journal on the back of. Here's a stamp from Romania. Double pocket with a coin wrapper with a little secret journaling card. I say secret. It's kind of unexpected, I guess. I wouldn't say secret. And then a little green ticket. And a monarch butterfly science page. Side pocket with a little journaling card. This is just some Braille dictionary page, Steno page. This is a bag that I received from Mary, recyclable lunch bag. And then I tucked a tag in here. We are having the time of our lives. There's a statement sheet. Tucked in here, I have a page from a Work Basket magazine, and I believe I got this paper. It's actually cardstock from Angela. She has dyed it. It's beautiful. I love the texture. And I've glued on a butterfly and some grass and sewn around it. And here's a piece of sari silk. And here's a vintage invitation. So cute. And another little color card. A fabric cluster. Another tag on this side of the bag with a tennis court. Upside down Fraken pocket. This is a stamped and embossed key. And a page. I was playing with my sewing machine stitches. So fun. A tuck spot with an alligator. An event parking ticket, and an embossed journaling card. Tuck spot here with a soda label, and this is made from a masterboard that I watercolored on. Wallpaper. Fabric pocket, a Monet playing card, and this is, I think, Happy Meal from Cindy. It's from like a teenager health type book, but I love the way the images are green. This is engineering paper. It's really thin. I love this stuff. Wizard of Oz. I printed a tree on a dictionary page. Some Kool-Aid dyed paper, statement, children's reader page, PastPaperPretties dress, paper doll dress. I love to use paper doll stuff. This is from a decorating book. Look at that green dining room, breakfast room. And then this is actually made from a Kleenex box. I love the pattern on it. And then I put one of my daughter's watercolors on it. And we have a paint chip strip. Did I back this? Yes, I did. And then a tag with a image from Heidi. Franken tag. And a little green note page. a little price sticker here, and another science book image. Here's a time card turned into a pocket. So there's a pocket here on the front with a dictionary definition, a Bible verse, and a flashcard. But there's also a little pocket on the side with a children's book image. And then here's a tuck spot with a vintage index card, a little piece of vellum with some, I guess that's like fir tree on it, and then an S&H award certificate. That is the green fabric journal. And then last of all is the green patchwork. Raise this up a little more. This is the one that you might have seen me making on the tutorial, and it has the same type of tassel. This one measures 6 1/4 or so by 8 3/4, and then 2.5 inch spine, and it has 3 signatures. This one also has a sewn in tie, and it's just this beautiful gingham. Inside we have a library pocket with the Tower of Pisa, and then a Franken tag. Wallpaper, a double pocket. We have a soda label. This is one of my sassy Rolodex cards. It was so windy on my walk to the gym, I was blown into the dress shop. I've got to make more of these. These are fun. This is from a children's music book, and I was playing with my new sewing machine's stitches. Super, super fun. Computer paper. Here's an embossed card with a, I don't remember if this was a Jell-O mold. I think it is a Jell-O salad. And then a Habitat notepad. This is an applique pattern and a ruffle sewn on. Canasta sheet. Here's a stamp from Germany and a paint chip book page, paint color. This is a vintage bulletin board letter, G for green. And this is from a preschool workbook. This is a flip-up pocket with a scripture page with beautiful, I don't know what that is called, but I love that flower. And then a vintage bingo card. Vintage lace with some, or eyelet with some ribbons sewn through or glued through. This is from the cover page of a children's book that I just adored, and I was so happy that it fit perfectly right here. This is from a children's book. Flip-flop tag. A beautiful image from a book that I believe was sent to me by Mary. So pretty. And this is from a masterboard, and I watercolored on it and put some silk. Here's a car key tag from Jan and a Bible verse. And then this is from the book Heidi. I just glued that down there. Here is a quilt square that I've turned into a tab, and I've put a little seed bead safety pin on the edge. This was from our Architectural Digest magazine from the 80s, and I turned it into a tuck spot with a little notepad sheet and a flashcard. So cute. These are just the right size, but you have to put them back in carefully. A side pocket with another beautiful children's book image and a playing card. This is from a license plate game that I had. I glued that there. ruffle. Circle something that's green and lives in the water. Use your green crayon, and this is the fish that was on the page for that preschool workbook. And then some play money. Fabric pocket with some fun trim and a little paint chip strip. And this is from a vintage sewing book. This is from Williamsburg. This is some dyed notepad paper, gift wrap, some vintage Sewing Lady stickers, and then this is an envelope that I received from Jan. It has something to do with car records, and then in here I've put a very large tag, lots of journaling space there. And I think that image is from a very like 1950s era literary magazine. A game card and a blank flashcard. Here's some beautiful green crocheted lace with a dangle. Kool-Aid dyed paper. This is from a sewing book. This is from a science book and a game card. Steno paper, a decoupaged peacock feather, an invitation. Isn't that so lovely? Here we have a tag from a science book, or this might have been a book about the states and the types of trees each state has. And then this is from Popular Science. This is a tag that I've just put journaling spot on the back. And this is some vellum that's printed, or it came this way rather. It's like a Christmas tree type pine needle print. Gingham ruffle, a little daisy here. Here we have a journaling card with a turtle. And then this is from my yard, and I put good luck on it. I know it's not a 4-leaf clover, but we can pretend. And then I have 3 pockets here with a prize tag, cute little tag, all good things are wild and free. And then a coin wrapper with a little secret journaling spot. A fabric cluster. A dress from PastPaperPretties. And another... yeah, this is the front. Another giant tag for journaling. Look at this beautiful image. I put graph paper on the back for journaling on. And then we have a pocket here with 2 little journaling cards. This is something I cut out on my Scan and Cut. Here is a time card pocket that has a pocket on the side with Snoopy and also in the front. Here's just a little envelope that I put a stamped book page and this beautiful bird on. You can put whatever you like inside. Children's poetry end page. Upside down pocket with a dictionary definition and a vintage green index card. And here's some wallpaper. A tuck spot from a science book. It says be kind. And an image from a children's reader. This is the back of a cook's illustrated book. And it's, I think it's Vietnamese herbs, and I've sewn it onto green paper. I printed some ferns onto a dictionary page, sewing page, vintage lace right here with another dangle, a recycled lunch bag, And then here is another tag from my master board. A sympathy card. This is a very old piece of ephemera that came in a cookbook collection that I got in an estate sale. And then here's a gardening page and another Franken tag. This tag was made from a Kleenex box. I loved the pattern. My daughter's watercolor umbrella and some sari silk. This is a gorgeous little Matryoshka doll. I think that's how you say it. And she does open and pop out and she can sit up. And this is from a Work Basket magazine. There's another tag. A good little boy with bad bar. Here is a clipped on playing card and a light green doily. Another tab. A tuck spot with Saul and David. And then just a fun little cutout tree, and then another image from a children's book. Or that might have been Popular Mechanics. And then we have a fabric pocket with some 80s perfume from a magazine. And another masterboard tag. Okay, that was Patchwork Green. So those 4 journals will be listed in my shop tonight at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are interested, head over to my shop and check them out. I appreciate you watching this video. I know most of you probably didn't watch the entire thing, but I appreciate your support as always, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.